Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to start a new chapter, and that is air around us. What is air? Air is a mixture of gases. All living things need air to survive. There is no life without air. We cannot see or smell air, but we can feel its presence when it starts moving or when it starts blowing. Moving or blowing air, if it is a harsh blow, it is called a wind. If the air moves gentle, it is called a breeze. So, air is present all around us. How can you show that air is present all around us? For this, we can do an activity. For all we need is a pinwheel. You know what is a pinwheel? See, this is a pinwheel. This is a pinwheel. You must have played it when you were smaller. You take a pinwheel and then hold the stick and run in different directions. Like this, you can run in different directions, and you can see that when you run forward or backward, the blades of the pinwheel also starts rotating. You will note that pinwheel rotates fast when there is a breeze blowing. Now, what makes these blades rotate? It is the moving air that makes the blade rotate, so air is present all around us. Now, air is a matter. It occupies space and it is present everywhere. How can you prove that air occupies space and is present everywhere? For this, what you need is you need a glass, some water, and a vessel. All you have to do is take an empty glass, hold the glass in an inverted position with its open mouth facing downwards. Now you dip the open mouth of the glass into a vessel filled with water, and it's like this. In the first figure you can see it. You have to hold the bottle straight. Then you see that the water cannot enter the glass. Now what you have to do, you have to tilt the bottle like in figure 2. Like this figure, you can tilt the bottle, and then you can see that some of the bubbles in the water, and the water starts entering inside the inside the bottle. So what happens here? Initially, when the water was not entering the inverted glass, it is because the glass was not empty at all. It was seen empty to you, but in fact it was completely filled with air. When we turned it upside down, there was no space for air to escape, and the air in the empty glass prevented the water to enter inside. Now, when you tilt the glass, then some of the air escaped and the water entered inside. This proves that air is present all around you, though you cannot see it. Okay? Now, what is atmosphere? As I have told you that air is all around you, so there is a blanket of air that surrounds the earth, and this blanket of air is called the atmosphere. This is called the atmosphere. There are various layers in the atmosphere which we have read in the previous classes. I am not going to discuss it. Just you can see this figure. The various layers in the atmosphere are, what are the various layers in the atmosphere? Stratosphere, troposphere, mesosphere, exosphere. We live in the stratosphere. Okay. The atmosphere extends to a height of 300 kilometers above the Earth's surface. As we go higher in the atmosphere, the amount of air decreases. Now we will discuss about the composition of air. What is air? Air is a mixture of gases. Till the 18th century, people thought that air was just one substance. But later, a French scientist, which was known as Lavoisier, proved that air is a mixture of many gases. The major components of the air are nitrogen gas, which is 78%. In this diagram, you can see it is denoted in blue color. Then oxygen gas, another important gas, which is 21%. You can see it in red. And remaining 1% consists of carbon dioxide, water vapor, and other gases, in which carbon dioxide is nearly about 0.03%. Now let us discuss the each components of the air separately. The first is nitrogen. Nitrogen is present in the maximum amount. It is about 78% of the air. It neither burns nor supports burning. Next is oxygen. Oxygen is 21% in the atmosphere. It is used by living things to breathe and for respiration also. The amount of oxygen decreases with increase in height. As we go up, the amount of oxygen will decrease. Green plants produce oxygen during photosynthesis. Then next is carbon dioxide, which is only 0.03%, and it is when the amount of carbon dioxide increases in the air is called to be polluted. That is why if we sit in a closed room where there is huge amount of gathering, we feel suffocation. Then next is water vapor. Water vapor. The amount of water vapor present in the air is called as humidity. In coastal areas, there is more humidity, so there is more amount of water vapor which is present in the atmosphere. When water vapor comes in contact with the cool air, it forms into water droplets. That is why if you keep a glass filled with ice, you can see after some time small drops of water outside the glass. This drops comes from the water vapor in the air. When this water vapor containing air came in contact with the glass filled with ice, it was cooled down and changed into water droplets. The next component of the earth is dust particle and smoke. It varies from time to time and place to place. Like in the November season, when the farmers harvest their crop, they cut their crops. Then in the news also you must have seen they burn their crops, and it causes a lot of smoke in the atmosphere, and that smoke and fog mixes and it is called smog and it makes the air polluted, which is a very current topic in news these days. Parali, you must have heard the name of Parali, that they are burning Parali, and now the government has taken initiative to burn these crops. And in Delhi and nearby area, the air has become polluted due to this. So due to dust particle and smoke, the air becomes polluted. Our nose has fine hairs and mucus present inside, which prevents the dust particle to enter inside, and that is why the harmful dust particle remain outside and it does not enter our body. You always try to breathe with your nose and not with your mouth. This is all we have learned about the air today, that air is present everywhere, air occupies space. The major component of air are nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor, dust and smoke. Nitrogen is present in the maximum amount. Revise this chapter. This is all for today's lecture.